Hey, what's going on, guys? Mr. Bricksquack back here with another video. Today we have yet another LEGO Star Wars set, and this is one of the few sets that I have that's actually from a movie, apparently. And this is Darth Maul Sith Infiltrator. This is from Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. This is from the scene where Darth Maul, kind of lands on Tatooine to try to find Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon Jinn, I believe. This is kind of the same era of time where they're picking up Anakin, discovering to be the chosen one or whatever. And so you do have young Anakin in this set, as well as Qui-Gon Jinn, and of course Darth Maul, his Sith Infiltrator, which lands on Tatooine and everything, releases those probe droids to go find the Jedi. So yeah, it's a really, really cool set. Definitely a huge fan of this, within the movie at least. So let's see how well the LEGO Star Wars adaptation kind of holds up. And yeah, pretty excited to build this thing. And it also comes with a very special minifigure, Saw Gerrera. So props to them for adding that. Definitely didn't need to, but it's a really nice shout out to Rogue One, to the Clone Wars, and to Andor. So huge fan of that. But let's get into the set. Alright guys, so just unboxed Darth Maul Sith Infiltrator here. Looks like we have a total of 7 numbered bags and an instruction manual. No sticker sheet in this one, which I believe should be the case. From what I recall, there are no stickers in this set, which is really interesting. So yeah, really excited to build this. It looks like it should be hopefully a pretty straightforward build and everything. I noticed that there are some bags that are smaller than others, but anyway, yeah, very excited. Oh, by the way, I did want to issue a correction just so any actual Star Wars fanboys don't get mad at me. Technically, Darth Maul is hunting Padme. He's hunting Padme. Technically, you can make a case that because he's hunting Padme, he has to find the Jedi Knights that are protecting her, whatever. But he's not explicitly hunting down Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan. His orders are just to kill them if, they're trying to protect Padme. And so Padme's ultimate goal. But anyway, just want to issue that really quick correction. But yeah, let's get into the build. Alrighty, guys, just finished the build of the Sith Infiltrator. I think this took me a little under 2 hours, I believe. So actually quite a sizable build. Overall, the build process was pretty fun. I actually really did enjoy it. It wasn't the most exciting build in the world, but some of the techniques that they use and stuff and some of the features they were able to implement were really clever. Overall, if I had to rate the build process, definitely give it an 8 out of 10. It's a very, very good build process. Really, really did enjoy it. Again, some very clever techniques by them. It was pretty easy and fun to put together overall. Now, taking a look at the minifigure lineup here, first of all, we have Darth Maul, obviously. This is his Sith Infiltrator, so he's kind of the main figure here. Honestly, I think it looks not the best. There's a nice continuous print, which is pretty cool overall. He has a double-bladed lightsaber, but they never gave him a new hilt or anything all these years, and no hilt. His head is actually in 2 pieces, so the top piece actually comes off if you take it off. He has no pupils, which is kind of the main complaint of this figure. And overall, I just don't think it's super detailed or anything. I really like the hooded kind of variant of Darth Maul, and so this isn't my favorite. But whatever. It's not the most horrible thing in the world, but it's not a great minifigure, I would say. Looking at the next minifigure, we have Qui-Gon Jinn. Now, I have an interesting critique about this. So if you actually watched one of my previous reviews of the Rebel U-Wing Starfighter, you would know that I critiqued Dedra Meero's kind of print for not being, I guess, continuous looking because it's not dual molded. And I have the same complaint about Qui-Gon Jinn. So his printing on his leg piece here is absolutely horrible. It's just inexcusable that this is a full shade lighter than what his torso is. The rest of the minifigure, though, does look pretty good. And the reason why I give this one a bit more of a pass as opposed to Dedra's is because of this kind of felt piece right here that's supposed to represent kind of his robe, I think. And so this is actually a really nice piece. They don't really do these very often in LEGO anymore, but this is actually really cool. And it covers up kind of the discontinuity, and so I don't mind it as much. But yeah, it is a bit of a kind of annoying thing that they have a bad print there. But anyway, pretty cool minifigure there too. Yeah, not perfect, but definitely not the worst. And now we have Anakin Skywalker. This is the young variant of Anakin, so he has the kind of Grogu-style legs where you can't really pose him or anything. They're very small. Pretty generic minifigure. I have nothing really special to say about it, but it looks all right. And so there's that. And now we move on to the kind of best minifigure of the set. And this is part of the reason why I even got this set in the first place. And this is Saw Gerrera. As you guys know, if you watch Clone Wars or Andor or Rogue One, which is, I believe, where this minifigure is inspired from originally, Saw Gerrera, absolutely incredible character. I mean, he's just super hype. His monologue in Andor is one of the best things ever. He's one of the 25th anniversary minifigures and everything. So, yeah, it looks really, really cool. I mean, he has just perfect minifigure overall. Amazing printing. He has a cape. He has a little staff of his. It's just absolutely sick. I mean, he even has the kind of prosthetic leg printing right there. So, it's super sick. And the fact that they give him a custom kind of like torso piece on here is absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely love this minifigure. This is really the main reason why I would get this set when it comes to minifigures. The rest of them, nothing crazy, but this is absolutely fantastic. And as always, I like to show the double-sided faces that we have. Maul doesn't have one, but the other 3 minifigures all do. Anakin has a kind of surprise face. Qui-Gon has a more of a serious face. And so does Saw Gerrera. Very serious, kind of angry almost face. So yeah, pretty cool. Now, before I go into the actual Sith Infiltrator itself, I did want to show off the kind of side builds here. So we have this little side build, which is Darth Maul's kind of speeder bike. It's very simple. There's nothing much to it. I have no real complaints, but I have no real praises either. And then you have these 3 probe droids, which are pretty interesting. And these actually can all be installed into the Sith Infiltrator, which I will show in a second after I show off all the aesthetics. Now, going into the kind of aesthetic of the Sith Infiltrator in general, it looks really nice, honestly. I think I've looked at some other pictures of the other Sith Infiltrators, and this by far is probably the cleanest one, I would say. It's very, very sleek. It kind of slopes down almost perfectly. The front section looks great. It is a little bit small. It's not like the biggest set in the world. I personally don't really have a huge complaint about the size. I mean, I really find it hard to store super big Lego sets anyway, so I don't really care much for size. I'm more about the kind of details. And in this set, the detailing is honestly fantastic. I mean, I really like the way they did some like greebling here and stuff. Like, it's just really tiny little details there, but it's very, very comprehensive and looks really, really nice. You have a kind of printed piece on top right here, which is really nice. I did mention, I think, that this set has absolutely no stickers, which is really, really cool. So the fact that they printed everything they could is absolutely fantastic. You know, again, it's just a nice looking set. From the back too, you know, just looks fantastic. You got those like kind of green engine looking things there. So yeah, it is really sick, and I love the way that they did some of these sloping details and everything. It's very, very nice and tiled off, which I'm a really big fan of. Again, I looked at pictures of the old Sith Infiltrators, and those were not as tiled off, so it's really nice that they were able to kind of incorporate everything here. It's honestly a fantastic set aesthetically. And just to give you guys an idea of what the bottom side looks like, it's not that impressive, but to be fair, like, it is, you know, a play set, and it's not meant for display anyway, so, you know, most of the time you're going to have it like propped up like this. So I think this is absolutely totally fine. From a structural integrity perspective, I think this is one of the weaker sets that I've seen in modern years. It's not like super weak or anything. I mean, I'm still able to like grab it and everything, but there are some pieces that are, you know, like for example, right here, that are not like on as tightly as I would like. But, you know, it's not the worst thing. And I will say that during the build process, some of the pieces came apart pretty easily. But anyway, just minor complaints there, nothing crazy. Now, before I switch over to flight mode to kind of show you guys that, one little critique I have about landed mode, and this is a critique that a lot of people have, is that when you put it in landed mode, this thing has a slight decline to it, which is really annoying. I don't really like that. I don't know why it's like that. I think canonically it's supposed to be pretty horizontal, so don't know why they didn't make the landing gear just a little bit higher, but anyway, small critique, but just something to point out. Now, kind of going into the play features, I mentioned this earlier. The first thing you kind of want to do with this set really is be able to put it into flight mode. And so to do that is pretty easy. What you have to do is you have to retract the landing gear like this, kind of flatten this out. It's a pretty neat feature, pretty seamless. And again, I'm able to do it with just one hand, which is pretty impressive. A lot of the time I require 2 hands to do this kind of stuff. So that is pretty cool. And then also to put the wings in flight mode, all you got to do is that. It's pretty easy, pretty straightforward, nothing crazy there. Yep, kind of do that, and then you go in for the other side, and then we'll do one final one here, and boom. Looks really nice. I mean, honestly, I think it looks better in flight mode than it does in landed mode. It's very clean. Again, the landing gear retracts almost perfectly. It's very, very sleek. That's the one thing I really like about this build. It's just so sleek aesthetically and everything. It is really, really nice. And honestly, I like this set a lot more than I thought I would. I was kind of going into this with low expectations, but this is really, really nice. So yeah, pretty cool overall. Now, one of the other play features, I guess, in this set occurs right at the very front here, which you honestly wouldn't notice. I mean, again, it's just one of these nice things that LEGO is able to do, just kind of sneak features inside. But if you look very closely, you can actually see two flick fire missiles coming in from here, and you can actually fire them. But I guess the question is how, right? There's no like very obvious trigger button. The answer is actually right here. So each of these is able to individually fire one of these missiles. So you can press the left one here. It'll fire one, I'll press the other one, and it fires the other. So it's really, really nice. It's very, very well hidden. I love that about this set. Probably one of my favorite features, to be honest. Now, taking a look at the other two play features in this set, the first one here is going to be really, really interesting. These both involve micro builds. So first one here is going to involve these probe droids. And so you can actually have a feature that it's really cool. It allows you to drop the probe droid. So you have to be careful with the placement of these. Actually, I try to place them the other way and they won't fit. So you got to put them like this. Make sure that the black kind of stud right there is not blocking your way. 1, 2, and then you can have a third one right there, which is really neat. And then you can go ahead and close these. And I will show you guys how to use the actual feature later. And then the second feature we have here, which is pretty interesting, is you can actually open up this hatch right here. As you can see, I already put Darth Maul's lightsaber into here. You can have these two clips to clip his lightsaber, which is really cool. And you kind of lower this. And then you can put his bike right in. It's almost like he's kind of piloting the ship, but from his bike, which is pretty interesting, pretty neat there. So you go ahead and put that there, close that up. And boom, you got Darth Maul just flying his Sith Infiltrator, all nice and cozy up in there. So pretty neat there. Now, I haven't forgotten about the probe droids we loaded in earlier. So it's actually a very, very cool and sleek mechanism that you use to release it. All you have to do is pull back this kind of 1x2 little rounded piece right there. So what you do is you open it and it releases all the probe droids from this little hatch right there. And what you do is you can actually just put this back where it is. And there you go. It's stuck in place again. So it's actually a very, very neat mechanism. All you do is you pull this thing back. And because of how it works, it actually is able to, just pull back far enough so that it's the red piece right here is not stopping the little, the tile piece, the giant tile piece from dropping down. So it's actually pretty neat. It's a very, very sleek mechanism. I really, really like the sleekness of all the play features on this build. Definitely top tier. So if you guys couldn't already tell, I actually really like this set. I was very, very impressed with it. It is a little bit pricey, but it's not the craziest thing in the world. I think it's actually pretty justified. Again, I love the sleekness of this build. Aesthetically, it looks fantastic. The play features, all fantastic. Minifigure lineup, not the best, but the Saw Gerrera kind of compensates for everything. If I had to rate this set overall, I'm going to give it a very, very surprising score, which is a 9 out of 10. It's awesome. I love the final product. It's very, very fun to play with. Everything about this set is honestly fantastic. Aside from a couple minor gripes I have. So it is really great. Unfortunately, by the time you guys actually see this video, I'm actually saving this video for a rainy day. I'm probably not going to upload it for a very long time. By the time you see this video, I will have already probably disassembled it and made it into another set. Who knows, one day I'll make it back into its original form again because I love it that much. But for the meantime, I'm probably going to have it as that other set. You guys will see that. Well, you guys will have already seen that if you look at previous videos on my channel. But anyway, really cool set. Glad I got it and everything. Totally worth building first before I transformed it. It's a fantastic set. I really don't have too many gripes about it aside from some minor ones. So definitely check it out if you guys can get it. It's kind of hard to get, to be honest, and I haven't really found it on sale, so that's a little surprising, but hopefully it does go on sale soon. I think it will be definitely worth the price. I bought it at full price, and I'm very happy about that, to be honest, but I know that some people, you know, it's a little bit out of their budget. So anyway, really cool set, 9 out of 10, highly recommend. Anyway, guys, hope you really enjoyed this video. I had a really great time making it. Honestly, I love this set. It's fantastic. I always enjoy building Lego and everything, so welcome surprises are nice. I don't always want to rag on, you know, sets for their flaws and everything, so it's nice that we get a modern set that's actually pretty good. But if you guys enjoyed the content, please leave a like down below. Please leave a comment with whatever feedback you guys have, whether it be positive or negative. Really helps me out and kind of gives me an idea of what content I should upload to the channel. Please consider subscribing if you enjoy some of the videos that I upload, and stay tuned to Mr. Brickswag for more LEGO Star Wars videos. Peace out, guys.